Let's talk about Faraday Future Intelligent Electric, but first of all guys, remember to subscribe to Trading SC to watch more content like this, and the disclaimer here, and...
Let's get started with the breaking news because we have something very interesting. You know, in Reddit there are more information that you have in other type of sources, and people are talking about the delisting of from the NASDAQ exchange. You know, apparently, well, of course they can't fall from $1 price below that minimum requirement. You know it, and they have like apparently received an extended stay of suspension from NASDAQ. Yeah, I can read it right now. So specifically from May 24th to until June 25th, according to this data, then they have to maintain the stock price above $1 for 10 consecutive trading days to avoid delisting. And you know, this apparent extension granted, it isn't clear the extension about it, the exact length, so we don't know the exact information about it. If you have this information, please share with us in the comments so we can learn together. And what do you think about this information? I think it's something interesting and to take into account because, of course, this is something that will affect the future of this stock.
Okay, so here we have the rectangle right here, which means that this is the objective that they need to make. I think it's feasible in terms of what they need in order to stay about this rectangle. If we see the price about $1, it would mean like the stock staying on NASDAQ, but I think it's gonna be very difficult. But you know, because look at that, you look at the past performance. It was below $1 between December till May. I mean, 6 months. You know, and the thing here is like the stock is almost in bankruptcy. And that's a big problem for a stock to stay above that particular price. So we have a market cap of 200 million right now. Actually, if you see right here the market cap. It was actually about 1 billion not so long ago.
Yeah, it's something interesting, and of course, when you see this type of rectangle, you may think, okay, it's feasible, but we're talking about the price having to stay above this level. You know, this yellow line, that $1 area. So the price will have to continue going higher from this point and breaking this level of $1 and staying above it for 10 trading days. You know, it's a challenge. It could happen. And what do you think? Share with us your prediction until the 25th of January of July, yeah, June. Sorry, do you think it will happen or not? I think that's the interesting debate for now. And from the technical side, what can we say about this? Okay, so we had this breakout that we talked about in the previous video, a very interesting one because from that $1 price it started to drop like crazy. We have this in the 4-hour chart. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive red candles with a lot of bearish strength we can see with this week. And from there, the price started to go up. And we saw this breakout a few days ago. I think it was an interesting one, but apparently it was like a false one from this resistance area. The price tried to bounce from the support level, again, trying to reach higher levels, but it couldn't, and it broke down again to the previous price, we could say. You know, it's like it entered into the previous range. And right now, it's like frozen inside this range. So once we see the price breaking in either direction, I think we will see like a big movement right there. What do you think, guys? Let us know in the comments your opinion about it, and what is your view of your technical analysis in this.
Okay, let's talk about right now the volume profile because we have a lot of trading activity over the last couple of months. And you can clearly see right now the point of control is just here. I mean, which means that the trading we have the most trading volume in this area, around just this area, which means that, you know, according to this pattern, the price should remain here at this particular level. And that's maybe a problem because you need to have the stock above $1 to stay on NASDAQ. And if we take into consideration the trading volume above $1 is not the same. I mean, all the trading volume is around 0.50 and below. And look at that, you know, where there is a lot of trading volume as well as 0.05. So according to this pattern, maybe we have to think how the stock could continue the downtrend. But at this particular level, I mean, we have a support line. Let's draw it right here. And as long as it holds, there is still hope. And that's the thing. The stock should rebound at 0.50 above. If it doesn't happen, and if it goes below 0.45, for instance, we could, you know, be in a very difficult situation for the stock. I mean, the downtrend could be huge.
Yeah, it's something to take into account, you know, these type of indicators, and You can use them as a guidance. Obviously, you have to, at the end of the day, you can't just completely trust any of them. And the technical analysis also can help you, and also the fundamental, and more in this type of stocks, you know, where the hype is there and the movements sometimes aren't logical or are just like hype movement at the starts. And you know, we are talking about an upside. Let's see the percentage when all this started from the 10th of May. We are talking about an upside movement of more than 9,800%. You know, it's completely nuts. And it wasn't logical, you know, to think this could happen. If you asked maybe one analyst or a few of them would tell you this is going to happen, but I would be very surprised if they did. And from there, you know, it didn't stop there. We had a downside movement of more than 76%. From there, another upside movement of more than 100. And from there, you know, from that $4 area, more or less, the current prices, we're talking about minus 86%. So this is a roller coaster, you know, the price movements, completely insane. We are not talking about 2%, 3% per day. We are talking about 5%, 10% per hour. And even some days during May, 100 per hour or even more. You know, that was completely insane. So what do you think about all this situation? And have you been trading it? Have you been, you know, experiencing it? What have you learned with share with us that information in the comments, because I think that's the most valuable thing you can get from here. Obviously the money also, the capital, but the experience that you get for future trades also, it's key.
Yeah, you need to understand the risks here. You know, it depends on the type of trade, but here it's like it's not the same as before, because before it was a 0.04. Someone started this move. They started this incredible uptrend. It was just impossible, you know, to buy the stock at this particular level because you wouldn't care. You know, you wouldn't care buy this stock unless you knew what's gonna happen. You know. But the reality here right now is like it could go down minus 90%. I mean, imagine buying the stock, put, you know, $10,000. It goes down 90%. Do we have $1,000? I mean, are you willing to risk that much? Is the thing that you need to consider in this trade. And the upside potential is limited. It's not 10,000%. It's not the same thing. We're talking about that maybe if it goes to the previous level, it's 600%, which is cool, you know? I mean, it's a risk reward ratio of 1.4, 1.5, Enrique?
Yeah, if you risk, let's say, 100% to get 600, you were talking about 1.6, you risk 100% to gain 600. And you know, it's a good trade from that perspective, but obviously you have to take into account many more details and data. But you know, the thing is, I think it's key, you know, to not miss the perspective and not think like, okay, I'm going for that 10,000%, because okay, that happened, and it could happen in, you know, in a completely different reality that we can enter into if the market hype wants to and the meme community decides to. It could happen, you never know, but it's not something normal, you know. So if you are trading based on logic or based on the technical side, fundamental side, you shouldn't expect that scenario. You know, if that happens, okay, if and you're buying, nice. But of course, it will have to go like, let's see the quantity. You know, the price we are talking about from 50 cents more or less. The price of the stock should be around $50, 53, something like that.
Wow.
So completely insane. You know, I don't know what would be the market cap. Let's put the indicator on of the market cap and see, when the price was trading around that level, we were talking about the market cap of
Yeah,
1.5 billion, I think.
and it's not the
And
same
these have some stock
because
split, so maybe this is
exactly.
different.
It's not the
Yeah,
same.
the
It's
market
not
cap should be huge to reach that 10,000% again. That's what we are telling.
exactly. And the thing is, like, if the stock is going to enter into bankruptcy, there's a higher risk of buying the stock at this particular level. If it leaves NASDAQ as well, it could go to OTC, and OTC market is, you don't have liquidity at all, so the stock should go down as well. So these are the different scenarios that we're talking about. Risky one, you know. The thing is, like, if you understand the uptrend it experienced before, okay, you can follow the uptrend, you can follow this 10,000%. And as soon as you see that the uptrend has ended, you exit your positions and you search somewhere else, because you won't get the same thing in this stock.
It's something to take into account. You know, the market cap is different, and you never know the future, and you never know the Faraday future, intelligent electric future. So remember to manage risk, to have fun also. And in this case, if you are not like a trader that wants to risk and to be like in the edge of a heart attack or something like that, I wouldn't recommend to trade these type of stocks because these are volatile, as you can clearly see. But of course, you can learn a lot from the trading perspective, and you can just like back test it and think, okay, what would I do right here? But it's kind of different because when you are inside this trade, you can see, okay, 10,000%, but you have to hold it. You know, sometimes you have 100%, 200, and you think, okay, good enough, and you close it. So, and sometimes different. You have that 10,000% and you want more, you go for 20,000% because sometimes enough it isn't enough, and you go, wow, minus 90%. What do I do right now? And it completely breaks your pattern. You know, so that's why I believe that you have to have a firm trading psychology, and that's something that we always recommend, to read books related to that or listen to some trading interviews that talk about that topic, because I think it's completely key having that mindset, that trading in the zone. I think it's a great book and a great philosophy for traders.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys. This is the truth about what we think. Obviously, it's our opinion. It doesn't mean that it's gonna happen when we think about it. But this is our opinion, guys. Remember to subscribe to Trading ST, and here you have a video on the right for you, especially made.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow, 2 more videos, maybe 3. Have fun. Remember to subscribe again. We really appreciate it. Thank you.